BBC News. Israel's Prime Minister Naftali Bennett is to step down from his post and dissolve Parliament, triggering a fresh election. Mr Bennett has been in the job for just over a year and has struggled to stabilise his increasingly fragile coalition. The opposition leader, Benjamin Netanyahu, had threatened to submit his coalition's own bill to dissolve Parliament. Colombia's last recognisable rebel group, the ELN, has said it's willing to resume peace talks with the government once the new president, Gustavo Petro, takes office in August. Mr Petro, himself a former rebel, has become the country's first left-wing leader after winning Sunday's presidential election. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has told African leaders that Russia is responsible for the suffering of their people and is trying to use them to fight Western sanctions. Addressing the African Union Assembly virtually, Mr Zelensky urged them to make their voice heard in the UN Security Council. The pro-Russian authorities in Crimea have said Ukrainian forces have struck several offshore drilling platforms there in what would be the first such attack since Moscow's invasion. Ukraine says Russia later carried out a missile attack in the western port of Odessa. The head of Brazil's state-controlled oil company Petrobras has resigned after coming under pressure from President Jair Bolsonaro to cap fuel prices. José Mauro Coelho had been in the post for only 2 months. The government in Mali says more than 130 civilians were killed by jihadists in 3 neighbouring towns over the weekend. It blamed a group called Masina Katiba, which is affiliated to Al-Qaeda. And a floating restaurant that was a famous Hong Kong landmark has sunk days after it was towed away from the harbour where it operated for nearly 50 years. The Jumbo restaurant capsized in the South China Sea while on its way to an undisclosed location. Nobody was hurt. BBC News.